mostly because Yakuza
Yakuza are known for wearing sunglasses. Yeah, this is bull. So Japan is like a very trend now. You know, the economist covered Japan, and this is exactly what happening. But there's a lot of video talking about, oh, don't do this in Japan, do this in Japan, and some are not, So today I'm gonna play this around. Hashtag Japan tips. There's a lot of videos. When Japan takes the gaijin seat seriously. Okay, so do you know the gaijin shit? So gaijin shit. So Japanese tend to not to sit next to the gaijin. I need to explain this. I really need to explain this. And then no one talk about this, why this is happening. Simple. They just don't wanna get attention. Sitting non-Asian, sitting in Japanese subway, it's pretty much get attention. People don't stare at you, but you get attention somehow because it's rare. I mean, not Tokyo, but some countryside. If you sit next to gaijin as a Japanese, you get attention as well. Maybe you get talked or something like that. That's why they're avoiding, I guess. So yeah, reason why there's a gaijin shit. Maybe just they don't want to get attention. Not because of you, okay? So don't feel bad.
If you're planning a Japan trip, here are 3 things you need to do before your trip, like before you arrive on the plane in Japan. First is to download a Suica card to your Apple Wallet if you're an iPhone user. This is the card you will use to take all of the trains and buses while you're in Japan.
I see a lot of people saying about Suica card, but personally, I don't recommend. If you live in Japan, if you study in Japan, or if you work, you might need it, but just traveling couple days, no. And also, since all Japanese has that card, there's a no line ticket. So just get a ticket from train station. It's easy, and you don't need to download an app and kind of stuff.
So if you're heading to Japan, these are our 5 essential travel tips part 2. So if you're traveling between places in Japan, you can...
It's really funny to see a lot of... I don't know how many times they went to Japan, but like they talk as professional. But let's listen.
Actually send your luggage straight from your hotel to your next hotel, which can be a lifesaver so you don't look like this. Download local taxi apps or you may not be able to catch a ride, especially...
I mean, you don't need an app.
Get reserved during busy time.
And that's how I rate people in Japan. That's how I stand always.
And you don't want to get stuck handling imaginary rides. If pocket Wi-Fi is crucial and saves so much money, you can
Really? Every time you want to get a Wi-Fi, find a 7-Eleven. And it's everywhere. So don't worry about it.
AT&T loves to give you daily. Japan is very clean, so much so it's sometimes impossible to find a trash can. And if you're in Japan,
Yeah, that's true.
you usually find them at a convenience store. And finally, we all get excited about
Inside.
online and want to eat at, but sometimes those hour-long lines aren't always worth the cost of waiting around. So make sure to check local review sites like Travelog to make sure it's worth the time, or find other great local spots on there without a wait. So when
If you see some line, you only see Japanese waiting, that's the real good one.
Here are 7 things that you should know
7
before you go
things.
to Japan.
Tell
Number
me.
1, get a transportation card. There are
Really?
many types of IC cards.
Everyone
and
say
I'll
this.
talk how you should-
I mean, how many times you're gonna take the train?
you should get the
Not that
Platinum
much.
card or the Suica card. Number 2, be prepared to queue in line.
Oh,
Japan
that's
is
the
known for
Arabica
its
coffee.
queue
If you haven't been Arabica coffee, I highly recommend. That's one of the best coffee I've ever had.
Number 4, download Google Maps and Google Translate.
Who
It's
doesn't
not
have
very
it?
hard to navigate the train station
Who doesn't have
in
Google Map?
Osaka.
3 things only foreigners do in Japan. Number 1, wear sunglasses. For some reason, Japanese people think wearing sunglasses make people look super shady, which is
What?
ironic because there's no shade in Tokyo. And heads up to all the foreign guys looking for a Japanese girlfriend. A recent study showed 70% of Japanese ladies had a bad impression of guys wearing sunglasses. The reasons why were mostly because Yakuza
Yakuza are known for wearing sunglasses. I grew up in Yakuza city. I've seen more Yakuza than most of people. I'm not sure even I saw Yakuza with sunglasses. I don't think so. In a movie, yes, but in the real world, no. Yeah, this is bullshit.
are known for wearing wearing sunglasses, and it felt sketchy to not see their whole face. But on the other hand, Japanese people are a-okay with wearing masks, which take up arguably more of your face, so I don't get it. Number 2.
So the origin of mask in Japan is definitely comes from pollen allergy. So Japanese government after World War II, they plant a lot of trees, like way more trees, which has a lot of pollens. So a lot of people in Japan, including me, have like very strong pollen allergy. So people started wearing masks, and then some Japanese shy, polite culture mixed with that mask habit. So yeah, that's the reason.
Go-karts. Only foreigners drive these go-karts around Tokyo, and I'm just gonna put
That's
it out
true.
there, Japanese residents hate these things. Riding in
Yeah,
these go-karts
that's
on
true.
public roads that are a safety hazard for people in their normal cars just wanting to get to their destination safely.
Yeah,
is kind
no
of
single Japanese on the
onlookers
cart.
may be smiling on the outside, but on the internet they're wondering why foreigners are treating their roads like an amusement park. Number 3, saying thank you. Foreigners are much more likely to say thanks to shop staff than Japanese people. In Japan, staff and customers normally don't have casual conversations. This is a nice
I mean, we don't have conversation like you do in the Trader Joe's, but we say thank you, at least.
thing to be known for, so more of this, please. And Japanese
Okay,
people think wearing
this is kind of suspicious. let's check our account.
3 things you're allowed to do in Japan that you're not allowed to do in President Elon's America. Number 1, drink
What? President Elon's America. So it's political statement.
ordering what you want. I think there's this unwritten rule in the USA. Because waiters' tips are tied up in how much you spend, there's this weird energy if you only order a dessert or a side at a restaurant. But in Japan, since there's no tipping system, nobody cares what you order. You can go into a fully decked out restaurant, order a single coffee, and nobody bats an eyelash here. Number 3.
I mean, that's kind of annoying. You use common sense. It's not just for tipping, but you can't just go to the restaurant to get like one single coffee.
3 rules you absolutely cannot break when traveling in Japan. Number 1, crossing the road. You will see that even if there are no cars passing, every single person waits for the light to turn green before going. Jaywalking is strictly prohibited. Number 2,
But you're
crossing
doing
the
that though.
road. You will see that
Hands down, this was our favorite spot in Tokyo. The Wagyu beef is melt in your mouth quality and can be enjoyed in 3 different ways.
Looks so good.
Third as is,
It's like now Japan is raw egg trend. Most of these kind of place has raw eggs, and it tastes so good.
crack an egg in and mix. And this was our favorite. Lastly, you have it in rich beef broth topped with condiments. It's a short bread from Osaka.
And the chazuke?
This is Wagyu with
Who lives in Kyoto? What are the hidden gems here?
Everybody's going Kyomizudera, Kinkakuji,
Right.
Arashiyama, but I really recommend you to visit Kurama Dera. It's the
Kurama
Mount
Dera.
Kurama, very close to Kifune.
Okay, it's gonna be a little minority opinion, but I really don't recommend. No, I think you should see Kyoto, but just expect the crazy amount of people. They really need to do anything, especially Kiyomizu Temple. They really need to have some regulation. Until they kind of have regulation, I highly recommend going to Kokedera, Moss Temple. You need to have reservation before that. And also, before you do that, you need to write something. Like it's kind of meditation practice, I think. That's one of the most beautiful temple I've ever seen. I highly recommend.
Sanju Sangen,
Mhm.
especially in the rainy
This is
days,
great
you
too.
Also, I recommend you to take the train from the Kyoto station. It takes only 30 minutes. You can go to Uji City. Visit the
I
beautiful
recommend. Oh my god, Uji is really beautiful. And try matcha. Try matcha. I gotta say again, try matcha.
temple. It's a very historical place, and the best things is you can try best matcha.
Oh, yes!
Japan is also
Here you go.
famous because
You might want to know before going to a public bath in Japan. Number 1, you will most likely be naked, but people do cover themselves out of consciousness or respect for others, and you can do it too. So here's how they do it. When you go to a hotel with a public bath, they'll probably provide you a towel like this, but a little longer. You can use this towel to cover yourself or wipe yourself when needed. Women place their towel like this while they're walking around the bath.
I mean, I've never been in the women's public bath, so I don't know, but we don't cover.
And for men, just here is fine.
No. What is that? You don't need to cover. I mean, a lot of Japanese are not covering it at all.
You can't take this towel into the water. So make
Yeah.
sure you put the towel aside when you're going into the water, or you can fold it and put it on your head like this. Number
That's true. I will do that.
Things you can get for free in Japan. Number 1, tissues. You can find someone giving pocket tissues
Oh,
in
yeah.
Japan. It's actually a typical style of
It's an advertisement.
promotion. Companies flyers inside the tissues because giving it with tissues makes
So-
it easier for
So Japan has a lot of pollen, right? So Japan has kind of tissue culture.
to receive them. If you're in Japan, you don't need to worry about tissues.
So
Number two,
tissues is
water
everywhere.
free in all restaurants in Japan. And some of them give you tea for free as well. I think because Japan is an island country, one of the most
What?
rich water countries. Number
I don't think that's the reason why water is free.
three, one of the most rich water countries. Number three, you don't need to pay for all public toilets in Japan. Toilets at stations, shopping malls,
Yeah.
tourist places, any toilets are free. When I was in
I think just because of there's a less homeless and then almost no drug dealers still.
some other countries, I pay some coins to use toilets.
Here's some well-known tips of how to survive Japanese summer unless you end up like this. But you can make some besties like this, hee hee. First of all, I feel like a lot of people don't know that Japan has a whole ton
What?
of cooling products like this
What?
gel and they don't have fill
What
up.
is this clothing product?
There's also cooling sunscreen, some little facial cooling
This product is not for summer. This is for when you get sick and you have some fever and headache. People use that, but no single Japanese use this just because summer is hot.
sheets. If you want to be
What
extra,
kind
you
of
can just shove an
information
air
is
conditioner
this?
up your shirt. Next, I'm sure a lot of people already know about Pocari Sweat. You need to
Pocari
drink something
Sweat.
with electrolytes.
Pocari
You can get
Sweat
it
is
at convenience
great.
stores and vending machines. Next, try cold ramen. This is
This is not cold ramen. This is soba, which is noodle, not ramen.
so good, like you don't understand. This is called zaru soba, and you can also do the
The one she showed was zaru soba, but the one she's showing now is nagashi somen. It's not soba. What's this information? This is so fake. This is not true at all.
Everyone keeps telling me, you spend too much time in the red light district in Tokyo, you're already there. Okay, I'll go somewhere else today.
Exposing
Today,
Japan.
We're in Akihabara, one of Japan's most sought-after destinations. But oh wait, there's still fucking 16-year-old maid girls everywhere here. You cannot...
What he's saying is little gross. I mean, most maid cafe, I believe, high school student can't walk. Like, you need to be older than 18.
Why all Japanese families are buying these children bags. In this store, this is one of the most expensive bag, 110,000 yen.
Yeah, this is really annoying culture. I hate
Why
that.
it's so expensive?
And it's
popular
expensive.
with kids. First, it will last you for years, and from elementary school to high school, kids can use.
No one uses this in junior high or high school. It's just for elementary school, like for 6 years.
The number one thing I recommend people do when they come to Japan for the first time, especially the people going on like 2-week-long trips, is book a stay at a ryokan that has
Onsen hotel. I agree, 100%.
people do is go from Tokyo, stay there for a while, to Osaka, then stay there for a while. In the middle, break it up by staying at an onsen hotel, like in the Mount Fuji area. It's so good, I promise you. Because you're
And also, onsen, natural hot spring, really heals you, you know?
going to be walking all day, every day in Japan. This is the perfect way to give yourselves a break and give you a chance to recharge for the latter half of your trip.
Yes.
And let me show you what it looks like. Welcome to the tour of our ryokan.
Yes.
The shower.
Yes.
Sit down in a shower before. It's nice, let me tell you.
There you go. I think you have feeling of welcomed by Japanese. People are nice and polite, but I'm sure at some part, like such as gaijin shit, you might feel you are not welcomed. Especially if you go to some countryside weird place. But go to hot spring. Nature of Japan and the spirit of Japan will welcome you. I highly recommend. I love onsen. I love onsen. I love onsen.
Don't say hi when offered something. Here, have some of this food. Don't say hi when offered something.
What?
Here, have some of this food. Hi. How rude.
What?
Where are your manners? Eh? When something is offered, it is common in Japan
Oh,
to
hey. I want to have some silent, like, what? I mean, there's a culture that, like, saying politely refuse for the first, but it's not, saying yes is not rude. If you want just yes, say yes.
that first out
So
of
this
respect.
information is
So you might
incorrect.
say 結構です or いえ大丈夫です
3 mistakes not to make in Japan. Number 1, taking a taxi at the airport. A taxi
Why?
from the airport to Tokyo can cost up to $350.
No.
Take the maximum fee for
What airport? Last time airport to Ginza, it definitely didn't cost $300. Use taxi.
$20 instead. Number 2, assuming everyone speaks English. A huge majority of people in Japan do not speak any English, so make sure to download Google Translate and have some important phrases written down. Number 3, leaving a tip. There is no tipping culture in Japan, and leaving a tip can even be considered rude. 3.
Oh, hey. It's not true. Tip is not rude. I don't know where that came from. Alright, hope this video helped you to choose what advice you follow and enjoy your Japan trip. And there's a lot of places that you see it in TikTok and Instagram, but if you have some time and if you don't know wait line, just follow your heart instead of Instagram. And you will find something really good. Especially in Tokyo and Osaka, I don't think you can get bad food if you go some restaurant randomly. The advice is sometimes great. Sometimes I recommend you have some explore time by yourself. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please hit like button. And if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please don't forget subscribe my channel. Okay. English is hard. I love you all. I'll see you guys next video.